Hi there. Thanks for tuning into the video. My name is Dr. David Hall. I'm a research fellow at the Queensland University of Technology, working under the Australian Centre for Robotic Vision, the QUT Centre for Robotics, and within a Robotic Vision Challenge research group. I'm going to give you a quick overview today of the latest Probabilistic Object Detection Challenge, or PrOD challenge, for ECCV 2020, letting you know what that challenge is, what it involved, and the results of said challenge. And at the very end, I'll be presenting the awards to the winning participants. Okay, so what is the Probabilistic Object Detection Challenge? Well, the challenge task is to try and detect objects in video data produced from high-fidelity simulations, whilst providing accurate estimates of both spatial and semantic uncertainty for every detection using a probabilistic bounding box, such as you see here. Now, why is this important and different to other object detection challenges that exist out there? Because there are quite a few. Well, it is in the use of the probabilistic aspects of detection, both spatial and semantic. This is brought to us from the perspective of robotic vision, because in robotics, whilst these two detections here might look reasonable to an object detector in a normal object detection challenge, in robotics, these are absolutes. They're saying that an object is definitely within the confines of this box, which can lead to improper assumptions that could be dangerous, saying that an area is safe to traverse when it isn't, and saying that an object is able to be graphed in an area that doesn't exist. And to try and overcome that, the response that we think is appropriate is to make both spatial and semantic uncertainty important in object detection. Thus, we have the representation shown here with probabilistic bounding boxes that have some uncertainty as to exactly where an object might exist, and meaningful label uncertainties as to what the object that is being looked at is. With these two aspects being properly identified by object detectors, we feel that object detectors can more fruitfully be implemented within robotic systems and act like just any other sensor within a robotic system. So the PrOD challenge itself is run across a predefined dataset of 56,514 images across 18 different video sequences. We use 3 different simulated base environments, 3 simulated robot heights, day and night lighting, and we also include randomly cluttered surfaces to make sure that we have a high volume of the small object instances. The challenge itself is evaluated using the probability-based detection quality, or PDQ measure, which was created for probabilistic object detection. This is a measure that rewards accurate estimates of spatial uncertainty and explicitly evaluates label quality. There are no thresholds defining success, and it is currently the main measure that can be used for evaluating a probabilistic object detector. For more details, I would highly recommend you check out the paper. But in essence, it is our way of being able to determine whether or not all detections have been accurately estimating spatial and semantic uncertainties. And these individual aspects of object detection can also be measured through the PDQ metric. Okay, so specifically for ECCV 2020, there's a couple of changes from previous iterations. This is the 3rd time that we've run a probabilistic object detection challenge. The first was CVPR 2019, the second was IROS 2019. Changes from CVPR 2019, which is the more highly known of the 2 iterations of the challenge, is the introduction of false positive quality. This is a small addition to the original PDQ measure, which allows us to state that false positive detections that are highly confident are worse than false positives that are low in confidence. This year we had a prize of $2,500 US to be divided amongst high-performing competitors. And for this year's challenge, we defined high-performing competitors as those that exceed a baseline submission from the CVPR 2019 challenge. This was a fairly high-performing result from CVPR 2019, but has been re-uploaded and re-evaluated using the newest modified version of the PDQ evaluation measure. So in terms of final results, we had 39 people registered interest in the competition, that we had submissions from only 3 teams, and each of them maxed out their submission limit of 5 for a total of 50 new submissions for probabilistic object detection. Our results table looks like this, And our CVPR 2019 baseline sits here in 3rd place, showing that there are two methods that performed above this and will receive prize money, and one which, while still performing fairly well, will not be awarded a prize at this stage. So now comes the fun bit, actually being able to award the teams their prizes. Award with big air quotes there, as we are in this virtual format in this current age. I'm going to just be outlining what the paper was and awarding the certificates to the teams. But I highly recommend that if you are interested in probabilistic object detection, that you definitely check out their papers and build upon the work that they are doing, because it has been great stuff to read. In 3rd place, we have the approach shown in the paper Probabilistic Object Detection via Deep Ensembles by the team made up of Zongyao Liu, Nolan Gutierrez, Aditya Rajguru, and William Bexey. Apologies if I've butchered any of your names. Whilst this paper did come in 3rd place, it still got a very reasonable PDQ score of 15.96%. However, it was below the threshold for a monetary prize. I would highly recommend you check out their paper, though. There are some interesting ideas in there. Unfortunately, a lot of the ideas they didn't get a chance to try out in the challenge itself, but I really look forward to seeing the future work from this group and look forward to seeing more probabilistic object detection systems that they can come up with. In 2nd place, we have the approach shown in the paper EPrOD, Evolved Probabilistic Object Detector with Diverse Samples. This is created by the team of Jai-Woong Choi, Sung-Wook Lee, Seung-Hyun Lee, and Byung-Cheol Song. Again, apologies if I butchered your names. This paper managed to come in 2nd place with a PDQ score of 20.26%. This is just above the threshold to receive a monetary prize, and they will be awarded a prize of $1,000 US. Again, this is a very interesting paper. I encourage people to check it out. It has some new approaches than what have been seen at previous probabilistic object detection challenges. Particularly interesting, I find their pre-processing method and their use of a soft dropout block methodology, which I found quite interesting. So very much looking forward to seeing what they're able to come up with for future research and potentially a future probabilistic object detection challenge. And finally, we have 1st place, which is the method in the paper Probabilistic Object Detection with an Ensemble of Experts, created by the team consisting of Dimitri Miller. This came in 1st place with a score of 22.86% PDQ, very respectable. And as it has come in 1st place, the team shall receive a prize of $1,500 US. A very good read of a paper. I highly recommend anyone who's checking it out to read the end, where there's a lot of nice fine-grained analysis of the object detector, the sorts of analysis that I really hope to encourage with these probabilistic object detection challenges. They even go into the label calibration, which is not a requirement of probabilistic detection quality, but is very important to consider. So that's all of the teams. I'd like to give a big congratulations to all teams and a personal thank you for your interest in probabilistic object detection. It has been great seeing some of the extra advances that have been made in this area since the 1st iteration of the Probabilistic Object Detection Challenge. And anyone who is watching and is interested in this field of research, definitely recommend check out the papers, build on their research, and I really hope that we can see some ever-increasing progress within this field of study, because it is important for robotic vision. And for those of you who've gotten to the end of this talk, thank you very much for attending. We have interactive sessions where you'll be able to talk to myself and the various authors on papers. Check out our main RVC website and the workshop website for more details on who will be available at what times. If you are interested in probabilistic object detection but didn't have a chance to participate in the ECCV version of the challenge, you are able to work on your methods and evaluate your techniques using the continuous evaluation server with the link here. And I have talks on probabilistic object detection and the PrOD challenge just to the right there. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see further probabilistic object detectors from all of you in the future. Thanks very much.